Hello, introducing the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. Isn't this the cutest little love you've ever seen? This little guy is portable, not very heavy. He folds up, easily take away on your trips, easy take away to your craft retreat days, easy to store in your craft room. He folds out like this and then snaps back in again when you need to pack it away. It comes with all of the folders you require, and they've all got numbers on them. So when you're doing cutting, you use number 1. So place die cutting edge down and you've got number 1 on the bottom, and then number 2 with your cardstock and your die, and then a number 2 over the top. Use with thin dies. With the number 3 one, use with standard embossing folders, and the picture is you've got number 1 first, then your embossing folder with your cardstock, and number 3 over the top. And then number 4 is used with 3D embossing folders. So you've got your number 1 on the bottom, your embossing folder and cardstock, and then number 4 over the top. And I'm going to show you how to use these to make this cute little card featuring the Counting Sheep Celebration stamp set and the coordinating dies. Okay, let's get started. So to make this card, we're going to use this little guy for the die cutting. So we've got the sheep dies, and we're also going to do some embossing for this little bit of greenery up here. So before I get started with the little mini machine, the first thing I need to do is stamp my sheep. So this is the stamp set I'm using, Counting Sheep, and it has these 3 super cute sheep. You're amazing and so glad it's your birthday. Now this stamp set and the coordinating dies are both free in our current celebration catalogue in here. They're free. The stamp set's free with a $90 purchase, and the dies are free with another $90 purchase. So if you spend $180, you could earn both of those for free as your reward. And if you were going to purchase, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you'd be almost all the way to getting the rewards to earn both of these for free. And I'll show you a few other things as we go to help you along your way. Okay, so first of all, I'll stamp this little sheep ready to die cut, and then I can do the die cutting with you. So I've got a little piece, just a little scrap of white cardstock here. You can see where I've already die cut the other sheep. And I'm going to use some smoky slate ink and pat the little sheep in there and stamp her down. Okay, so that's the first step, ready for our die cutting. So we're going to die cut. Oh, actually, while I had that sheep out, I might just stamp her on the panel for the inside while we're still stamping the sheep, and then I can pack it all away. There we go. There she is on the inside as well. So we no longer need the smoky slate ink, and we no longer need the sheep stamps. I can just pop them right out of the way, and pop that one back out of the way as well. Okay, now die cutting. We're going to die cut this sheep, but also we need to die cut a few other things while we're at it. We're going to die cut the little sun and some clouds. So we'll have a look at the dies here and pull out the one that goes with our little sheep. She's there. And then we can also fit on this piece of paper the 2 clouds, and we can die cut all of them at the same time, and then we'll also do the sun. Let's pop that out of the way. Now, remember what we said before about die cutting? We need number 1 down first. I'm just going to put my machine here so I can see what I'm doing. And then I don't need the embossing roll. Number 2, and I'll pop my little sheep and the die around her. It nests up very closely to make it super easy to cut out. So there she is, and we'll put the other clouds on as well while we're going, and then we put the other number 2 over the top as well, push them down and then wind it through. There you go. Sounds a successful cutting as it cracks on the way through. Alright, there's our little sheep. Isn't she gorgeous? Put that die over there, and here's our 2 clouds. All of our dies come with these handy dandy little holes where you can just use your take your pick tool or any piercing tool just to wash out your die cut image, ready to go. Okay, now I'll pop the sun in there. I've got 1, 2, and then another 2, push it in, and then we can come back again. 2-way die cutting, isn't that cool? Okay, so that's all the die cutting ready for our card. Put the sunshine away. Now, while we've got this little machine here, we'll emboss using one of our lovely thin embossing folders. I'll show you in a minute in the catalogue our collection of thinner embossing folders that work perfectly with this little mini stamp cut and emboss machine. Rightio, so for embossing, this is a standard embossing folder, so we need to use the number 3. So we have the number 1 down, and then we have the folder with the cardstock inside. Always feed your embossing folders spine first. If you go the other way, you risk the air pressure building up and then breaking. So always feed spine first, and always have a lid over the top. If you don't put a lid over the top, you'll end up with embossing folders that part and don't sit together neatly. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then we'll wind that through to emboss. Bit of cardstock ready for our card. Okay, there we are. Beautifully embossed leaves. Lovely detail on the greenery embossing folder. Okay, I'll just pop this out of the way for you, and I'll show you what I was talking about with the little stamp cut and emboss machine. So this is the page with the stamp cut and emboss machine here, the little mini one. See this little icon on here? I'll just lift it up for you. It says mini down there. It comes with everything you need. And if you go and look in your embossing folder section, you can see that little mini icon there. This is the one we've used today. That the folders come in a set of 2. So we've used this greenery folder. There's also another one with quite a lot of cable greenery. So it's got the little mini. We also have the Dotty Hearts folders, 2 folders there. And the Meadow Moments mini folders. Thanks and hello. And then the wintry folders. Now these wintry ones, the grey, lighter grey colour, are 3D embossing folders. So they're much thicker and have a much deeper embossed image. When you also look through your catalogue, when you're looking at the dies, you can see some of them are highlighted with this little mini icon. Any of those ones will work with this little mini stamp cut and emboss machine. And the same goes for our mini catalogue as well. When you're looking through the index at the back of the catalogue with the bundles, you can see the ones that have the little mini, okay? And also, at the moment, if you join Stamping Up During Celebration, this particular bundle is one of the ones that are being given away free in the joining kit. So there's a whole choice of them, and several of them. Here's another one, the Christmas trees and the whimsical trees. That's a mini one that works with the mini catalogue, and it's also available during celebration. Here's another example. the little mini icon, and it's also a freebie during celebration if you join. Ask me more if you want to know more information. Now back to our card. Here's our little guy here. Now we've got our embossed panel, our die cut clouds and the sun, and our die cut sheep. Before I go any further, I am going to colour my sheep using our Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. Because I've stamped the sheep in our water-based ink, the smoky slate ink, the alcohol markers won't bleed at all and colour in perfectly. When you're using our alcohol markers, you have to always use a water-based ink. So the Memento, our black Memento ink pad, is water-based, and all of our colours, so all 50 colours. So that means you can stamp in absolutely any colour you like when you're using our alcohol markers. If you want to do watercolouring with a paintbrush and our dye-based ink, you need to use our solvent-based ink, which is StazOn. So we have a StazOn black and a StazOn saddle brown, and both of those colours are perfect for watercolouring. Okay, I'm just colouring in her hooves, and then the stamped image has these cute little bits of detail and lines, and I'm just going to put a little bit of colour over the top of them because the artists have very generously, forgot to do the face, very generously created those extra lines for us so that we know where the shadow and definition will be. Here we go. So much better with the face. And here's a little one too. There we go. And her hooves. I'm thinking this is a little girl sheep is what I'm thinking. But of course it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, and then make her extra fluffy with all her lovely fluffy wool. And that bit here, there. Here we go. Doesn't she look gorgeous? Okay, let's start putting our card together. I have used a balmy blue piece of cardstock for my card base. This is half of a piece of A4 cut in half and scored. And for my first layer, I'm using this gorgeous balmy blue stripe design, which is actually in the Euro Peach pattern paper. This is absolutely beautiful pattern paper, but it can be used for anything apart from peaches. I love that our paper is all double-sided and you can use it for so many different occasions other than the bundle that it originally comes in. Okay, so there's my first layer. Then I'm going to pop down my embossed panel, just very gently with my seal, because sometimes when panels are embossed, the cardstock's softer, so the seal can pick up the cardstock. I'm just eyeballing this to see about center and popping that down. Okay, now I can start sticking on some of these things. I'm going to use some dimensionals for my actually I won't put her on just yet because I want to add the You're Amazing to her. So how about I do that? Goodness gracious. I'm using a double oval punch for the greeting with some Mango Melody for the first layer of the greeting, and Poppy Parade for the scallop outline. There we go. And I'm going to stamp the You're Amazing with Poppy Parade ink. Pat, 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 pat. And straight down, straight up. Close my ink pad, clean my stamp straight away while it's fresh. Pop this over the top of my layer here. There we go. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do, I will put dimensionals on the back of her in preparation. 1, 2, but I also want to put onto her, now those dimensionals still have the covering on, so don't worry about sticking onto anything, but I'm going to put a little mini glue dot on that little arm because she's going to hang on to the greeting a bit like a balloon. And the baker's twine I'm using for this is the Basics Baker's Twine Essentials kit. It has white, black, vanilla, a crumb cake and a grey colour. So I'm going to stick that onto my mini glue dot, wrap it around her little hand and then stick it again, and then I'll chop it off about here, and then I can stick her onto the card now that she has her string attached. And she's skipping, so I'll put her on one foot, skipping away there. Now I'm going to, there we go, so there's her string all attached. I'm going to attach the other end of the string using a dimensional there so it holds in place, and you won't see that because it'll be underneath the greeting. And while we're putting dimensionals on, one on the sun and some mini dimensionals for the clouds, just to be sure that they won't show up on the other side. There we go. Brilliant invention, mini dimensionals. And pop one cloud overlapping there and another cloud just down here, and the sun just peeking over the top. Right, and then I've got my You're Amazing, 1, 2, and I've taken the back off that one, and we could have it like that it's pulling, but I'm going to have it straight. So there's my You're Amazing. Now for the inside, isn't that cute? Oh, I think that's so adorable. Inside of my card, super easy. We've just got our little sheet that we coloured in before, and then I'm going to add some more of this pattern paper. Now I'm going to line this up right on the edge of my grid paper there and line up my other piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock there. Doesn't look straight at all. Quick, 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 before the glue sticks. Here we go. I'll go this way, see if that helps. And I'm just going to go for a thinner edge than I had originally. There we go. Okay, I can see my cardstock's just attached too long there. When I cut that out, obviously I didn't cut it correctly. Run my seal down both edges and then pop that right on the edge of my insert for the inside of my card, and then some more seal, pop it in like that. I love doing the inside of the cards, just finishes off a bit more, makes it look beautiful. There we go, super cute. Now what I was telling you before, if you would like to earn these sheep stamp set and the dies for free, all you have to do is purchase the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is $104, the double eyeball punch, which is so useful, $31, the greenery folders, now there are 2 of them in the greenery folders and they're $14, and the You're a Peach paper, which is $20 for a pack of 24 sheets of 12-inch by 12-inch paper and an ink pad of any colour. And you've got enough to earn the sheep dies, and the coordinating counting sheep stamp set. Why wouldn't you want to earn that? Because look at what you can make. Want me to show you some other projects I've done using these? This little card here is a bridge fold, and I've cased that straight from the catalogue. You can see my inspiration here. There you go, there's my inspiration for that card, and there's my inspiration for that card. I hope you've enjoyed that, and contact me. Here's my details if you need to contact me or place an order. handmadebyjuliaquinn.stampinup.net or email handmadebyjq. I'm available for you to place an order if you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'd love to help you and answer any questions you may have. Bye bye now.